healthcare hospital environment. But the nice news about Brian, and a lesson for all of us, is that he thought he was normal.
Yeah, exactly.
So he loved his environment, he loved where he was, and but it's a speech I'm actually looking forward to.
I really want a copy of it. So, yeah, I want to see that.
It's a
Who are
speech-
you giving it to? I'm curious.
the parents of children.
Okay.
Brian was one of the older, they discovered this 35 years ago. So he's one of the older ones.
Oh, right.
I mean, it was out there, but they didn't know what it was.
Right.
They just, thought it was cerebral palsy, or they didn't know life expectancy or anything. So, anyway,
Well done.
thank you. So the question is, who are you gonna speak to? All right? And that's a challenge.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So with the triangle and your specific edge, are there 3 specific things you should always be, 3 categories, or will
No.
you make up your own categories?
Make up your own categories.
Okay.
Just 3 things. Okay? And people sometimes ask why 3. It's a good question. Well, we know it's more than 1. Because one, unless you're Michael Jordan and it's basketball. Okay? I mean, unless you're really a rock star in an individual thing. And if I could run a sub 4-minute mile, okay. All right? But most people don't have the one thing that they're world class, and that's what stops them. And there's plenty of people out there that do. So you need more than 1. It may be 2. I think it's 3. It might be 4, but I doubt it. But it's definitely not 5. And let me tell you why it's definitely not 5. Because you can't remember 5 things. It's too many. Your listener can't remember it. You'll confuse them. And you're almost there at 4. So I'll accept 2 or 3. 4 is pushing it. That's why it's 3. And it's also, it would screw up my analogy if it wasn't 3, because it's triathlon, it's swim, bike.
Right.
I'm going to conclude, because I'm going to conclude on time, but I'll stick around for a couple minutes if somebody wants some little one-on-one, okay? 5 levels of marketing. This applies because I want you to be thinking about it when you're delivering whatever your message is, all right? And is everybody familiar with the first 4 levels of marketing? Yeah, I usually get...
The 4 Ps?
No, first 4 levels. I usually get those blank stares because, see, I made up 4 levels of marketing, so I can have a 5th level of marketing. Anybody in the summer, you drive through Dahlonega?
Oh, it's just.
But a lot of cornfields, okay? Farmers set up corn stands, right? Oh, look at those fancy slides. Level 1 is produce. All the farmer did was produce, and he put up a corn stand. All right, and people stop and buy corn. Level 2, he gets creative, and he's a real marketer, and he actually puts up some signs and promotes. 4 ears for $1. There are very few companies. There are also very few successful speakers. They're at level 1 or level 2. Level 3, he takes his son, he gives him a couple dozen ears of corn, puts them in his bike basket, and sends him into Dahlonega to do what?
Franchise.
Sell. All right? So level 3 is sell. And you know what? I would guess about 40% of the speakers and companies are there in level 3. They're selling. They're calling speakers bureaus, they're calling people, and they're trying to tell them what they have to offer. Most marketing, internet, advertising is sell. This is what we've got, come get it. Level 4 is people start coming in and saying, gosh, you got all this fresh produce? We would love to have pies. We'd love to have cakes. We'd love to have cider. And you know what they do? They respond. And they start putting that in the stand because they're responding to their customers. I was a partner at Deloitte, and not an accountant, marketing, all right? As a marketing partner, and when I was there, this was in the late 90s, their tagline was absolutely level 4. We listen, we deliver. Oh, there are about 40% of the companies that are there. They do all kinds of customer surveys. They find out what the customers want. Marriott was great at that when they developed Courtyard. Courtyard was developed through surveys of what customers wanted. They listened, they delivered, they responded. All right? Now, level 5 this isn't good enough. Level 5 is where you want to be, okay?
Anticipate.
Level 5 is, well, don't jump ahead of me. Anybody familiar with the knowledge quadrant? Now, I didn't make this one up. Knowledge quadrant, there's 4 quadrants of knowledge. You know what you know. I know how to work this computer. You also know what you don't know. If it stops working, I'm gonna hope you can help me. Or I'm gonna call my computer guy and he's gonna take care of it, so that's not a problem. How many people, this is my first time into the room, and I think that there's a fire escape plan there, but I didn't look at it. But if the sirens go off, if the things start blinking, I'm gonna know what to do. I'm gonna go out that door, and if that door is, not there, I'm gonna take this table and throw it through this window.
Say that.
Huh? Right?
Agree.
So, I didn't study, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but if catastrophe happens, my instincts will kick in. What's this box?
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. And of all these boxes, this is actually your danger zone. Let me turn this to red. And you don't know what you don't know. And by the way, that's where level 5 lives. When you can start answering questions, providing answers to questions that your audience hasn't even asked. When you start, and you're absolutely right. That's what you're looking for. You're providing things that they haven't even asked, and that's anticipating. And in the farm example, how many people went to their farmer and said, we could sure use a corn maze or hay rides, right? And unfortunately, my favorite example is we lost the best level 5 thinker of our lifetime, right? And it's how many people went to their cell phone company 8 years ago and said, I don't want any buttons, or I really like a tablet, forget the computer. And if you listen to anything that Steve Jobs has said, all right, he will tell you that they never surveyed their customers because their customers didn't know what they wanted. And Apple is the largest company as far as net worth in the world today because of it. All right? How does one get to level 5? How do you get to level 5 as a speaker? And I'll conclude with this slide. You develop a specific edge. Because there's nobody who's going to be able to understand the needs of a lady, a single mom, who's dealing with a Down syndrome child who's 12 years old and is going to be able to deal with her development better than you. Right?
Absolutely.
And there's no one who could speak to a corporate audience about ethics with so much authority than you. And that's what we're looking for. Thank you.
Mike, I just want to thank you so much. That was actually one of the longest workshops that we've had an opportunity to do here.
My timing was good.
You were perfect. So what do you guys think? Yeah? Something you want to do more of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I learned so much, and I've actually seen this presentation before. I'm not even listening to a couple of pieces. But I just want to say thank you so much. Mike does not get paid to do this. This is a volunteer opportunity, and we know that your time is valuable, and we appreciate you spending that and giving so much
Thank you.
Thank
in this,
you.
in this circumstance. And we hope that you will send us pictures from Boulder and come back and visit from time to time as well.
A couple things. I am in town, but I also, my email and my phone number still stays the same. I did write a book, Specific Edge. There's 3 ways you can get it. You can get it on Amazon. I'm giving you a commercial. You can get it on Amazon.com. I think it's $14.95. There's also a Kindle version for half that price. And I did bring a couple of extra copies, which I am gladly sell to NSA for $10. And I, if anybody has any questions, I'm going to stick around for a couple minutes. But if you have any questions and or just want to follow up, I'm happy to do it. Okay?
Great.
Whether I'm in Boulder or whether I'm here.
I love it.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Mike. I appreciate it.
I think we may need to vacate the room. People waiting
You gotta get out.
This one's coming right away.
Yeah, they need it. We're running late.
My charts too.
How's everybody doing?
All right.
Good.
Waiting for the room?